Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are doing a really fun fan art challenge. So right now on Instagram and Twitter, there's this trend going around called the 6 fan art challenge, I guess, or 6 fan arts. Basically, what it is people submit fan art ideas and then the artist draws 6 of those selections. So over on Instagram and Twitter, you guys can follow me at McCaigue on Instagram and Twitter. I asked you guys what characters you want me to do fan art of. Technically, I asked for both characters and creatures. So today specifically, I thought we'd do a character one. And if you guys like this one enough, I would love to do another one of just creatures. So I already went through and looked through a lot of your guys' suggestions on Twitter and Instagram. You guys had a lot of cool ideas and a lot of fun characters, but I resonated with 6 of them very closely. Those suggestions included Ciri from The Witcher, specifically Witcher 3, 02 from Darling in the Franxx, or Franks? I don't know. Shigo from Kim Possible, probably one of my first lady crushes when I was younger. Colonel Mustang from Full Metal Alchemist, probably one of my top favorite anime. General Grievous from Star Wars. And finally, Capra from She-Ra. So let's go ahead and jump in and get all of those guys started. All right, so we are kicking off this 6 fan art series with these 3 lovely ladies, very amazing characters. I love them all for so many different reasons. So let's go ahead and start with Ciri. So I recently just beat the Witcher 3 game, and I have to say, I think the Witcher series is probably one of my favorite video game franchises, closely followed by Assassin's Creed. I really love the Assassin's Creed games, but God, the Witcher is just a whole nother game. Like, I had so much fun playing it to the point that I'm tempted to restart it with New Game Plus and just go crazy and have so much fun with it and try to do like everything. So I'm excited to start that up again. And Ciri is just such a cool character. She's so kick-ass and like really awesome and just has a really cool fighting style and cool like abilities. And I loved her as a character. She was like the perfect, strong female character. I thought she had a really well-developed personality for me personally. I know like everyone has different opinions on characters, but at least for me, I thought she was really awesome and I just loved her character. Her sketch I did struggle with a bit. I couldn't really decide on a pose, and I think it's just maybe because this was the first one I was doing for these 6 fan arts. And so I was being a little critical of them. I'm also trying to take my time just a little bit more with my art and not rush it. I haven't really drawn a lot of people recently, so it was kind of interesting to jump back in and draw human figures again. So I think that didn't help, but also I was just being extra critical of myself on this. And then with the next character, 02, I really enjoyed Darling in the Franxx. I'm not going to do any type of spoilers. I know the ending received kind of a mixed review in the fandom, but I really was intrigued by the story and just the animation was awesome. And guys, I just love horned girls. Like, I loved 02, and she had a really fun backstory, and she was just a really interesting character. And I mean, she's just cool and awesome, and I loved her design overall. I have to really go back and rewatch that series because I remember most of it, but I'm kind of blanking on a few things. I only watched it one time through, but I did like it enough that I kind of want to watch it again, so I start remembering everything, you know? But yeah, it was a really fun series, and oh my God, the main opening song is so good. I jam out to that all the time, and it's probably my favorite song to play on Beat Saber. I just love it. And then finally, Shigo, probably my first lady crush when I was younger. I think a lot of people can say that are in my age demographic that grew up with Kim Possible. I just loved Shigo. She's just such a cool, kick-ass, bad lady and awesome. And I really need to go back and also watch Kim Possible because I get like little clips of it on like my Instagram or Tumblr or just in random places, and I was like, man, I don't even remember that scene. Like, I kind of want to go back and watch it as an adult instead of a young kid, because then I could, you know, see the inside jokes that were prevalent through all the cartoons back in the day. I mean, they still happen in cartoons nowadays, but it's just kind of fun to go back and watch your childhood shows and see what the adult hidden jokes were. But yeah, I really love Shigo and I love her design. And I just remember her being just this really cool, sassy character. And, you know, like I said, probably my first lady crush. So 100% had to draw her, especially because, for one, Potato King is my husband. So he recommended Shigo because he knew that she was my first lady crush. I Am Lex is also a friend of mine and knew that Shigo was my lady crush. And then, of course, we got one more comment on Twitter. And I was like, okay, if 3 people suggest it, I have to do it. I mean, without the recommendation, I probably would have still wanted to draw her. And yeah, I love them. I love all 3 of these first ladies. This is a great way to start the 6 fan art challenge. I don't draw my favorite characters enough. And after doing this, especially for these 3, I'm like, man, I should doodle these guys more because like I had so much fun drawing them. It was like something I haven't done in a really long time, and I thought they just looked awesome, and I really enjoyed drawing these 3 ladies. Next up is also kind of a mixed bag of 3 fan arts. So first of all, Colonel Mustang from FMA. Full Metal Alchemist is probably my favorite anime series. I mean, my favorite kind of animated series overall is Avatar, which I'm surprised that I didn't pick one for here, because I know that I had a recommendation for Zuko and a few other ones from Avatar, but I was like, I'll save that for another time because I really wanted to try drawing some different characters from fan arts or from fandoms that I don't really draw very often. And I know that I used to draw the Avatar gang a lot when I was younger. So I was like, let's draw like a fandom that I haven't really drawn from at all, and that's Full Metal Alchemist, which is really surprising because I really enjoyed the series. I think I might have drawn like, I don't know, I think I've drawn Owl like once or twice in my life, not very much, but I just love the series and it's just such a good story. Like, I love the characters. I got really into the world and the story, and God, it's like the first anime that really made me cry hardcore. Like, I would say Fruits Basket was also an anime that made me cry, but man, FMA was like full on bawling, crying. Oh, so good. It's such a good series. So if you guys haven't seen it, really recommend FMA Brotherhood. That's the best one. It kind of aligns better with the manga. Just really cool. And Colonel Mustang is just badass. He's got these gloves that he just snaps his finger and it's like fire erupts from them. Really awesome. And there's a lot of cool like alchemy moves in the show, like, and the manga. Just really recommend it. Also in this next 3 lineup is General Grievous. So, it's Grievous, right? Yeah. So my top 2 favorite characters from the Star Wars universe are Darth Maul and General Grievous. I would say General Grievous kind of takes the #1 spot, but Darth Maul is a very close contender for #1. They kind of, it really depends on my mood, because some days I'm like, yeah, Darth Maul all the way, and other days I'm like, no, General Grievous. I don't know. I just really like both of them, and I specifically picked him because it was kind of between Grievous and Zuko, but I specifically picked Grievous because it's another series that I haven't drawn a lot of. Like, I don't remember doing a lot of Star Wars fan art, and it's a mech-like design, which is something I don't draw very often. I don't draw these interesting cybernetic mech-like characters, and so I thought this would really help me like push my my artistic abilities and see if I could pull it off. I think one of my favorite spots that General Grievous was in was the animated, was it Clone Wars? Was that what it was called? The Cartoon Network show, the animated one? He was just badass in that style. Like, I remember just being infatuated with that animation, the 2D animation with him just like going crazy doing these flips and like swinging the lightsabers around. He just looked awesome, and it rendered in that style, that like Samurai Jack-esque style. I can't remember the guy who made Samurai Jack, because then I would just say it's his style, but you know, that style just fit him so well, and it just looked so cool. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it because I absolutely loved that scene. And finally, for this last lineup is Capra. So I got into She-Ra a little while after it came out on Netflix, and I fell in love. I really love the series, and I'm so excited for the next season, and it's just so interesting, and I love how well developed the characters are and just the diverse cast and everything. It just makes me so happy, and it's really cool to see an old cartoon, like an older cartoon, reimagined and modernized in such a great way. Like, the animation is great. I really love the style and kind of the adaptation of the characters, because if you go back to the, what was it, 80s She-Ra, very much kind of the bland, I mean, I might get heat for this, but a lot of the 80s cartoons were made to sell toys. So, like, I never really was super attracted to watching them, because I remember growing up and I didn't really want to watch He-Man, I didn't really want to watch She-Ra, I didn't want to watch those ones because they just didn't have, I guess, the story that I was looking for when I was younger, or just some type of more interest to it. But that's just me. That's just how I grew up, not judging anyone for their taste. But I just love the new reimagined She-Ra. I absolutely love their new designs, the new story, and how the characters are developing over the series. And Capra is probably one of my favorites from the series. Actually, Scorpia is my favorite. Capra has to be a close second. And there we go. We have all 6 fan arts done. I really had a lot of fun with these. A couple of them were a little hard. For example, Siri, I just could not pick a pose. It was really hard for me to figure that out. I cut out a lot of it from you guys seeing it, but I went back and forth on her to figure out how I wanted her to look. Plus, it was the first one, so I felt like super pressured for the first one, and I have such an emotional connection to her. As in, like, just because I recently finished The Witcher, I was like, God, this one has to be perfect. And then I kind of felt that going through all of these. I haven't done fan art in so long that I was like, I have to nail these. These have to be good. I need to make them look good. So I put a lot of pressure on myself, and honestly, they turned out really well. Like, I really like how they turned out, and it was just fun to do fan art, because I don't draw fan art as much anymore. Like, kind of a little bit when it comes to, like, converting existing pop culture icons into, like, my style, or, like, for, like, Animal Crossing, like, converting them into something else, or taking, like, Bowser and making him a creepy Dark Souls villain. Like, that's the closest I've been getting to fan art, but I haven't legit just sat down and done fan art of my favorite characters. But yeah, this was super fun, and I do miss just drawing fan art of my favorite characters, and all of these were from series that I loved, and I just had a blast. So if you guys like this, please leave a like on this video and tell me down below if you want to see another one. I really want to do a creatures one, because you guys had a bunch of creature suggestions on Instagram and Twitter, and I think we could make a whole nother one just off of some really cool monsters. So let me know down in the comments below, and I'd really encourage you guys to try out this challenge. It's just fun to do fan art of your favorite characters, so highly recommend it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for stopping by and checking out this video, and if you aren't already, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and join our little arty community. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and again, I encourage you guys to try this challenge out. Anyway, thank you guys so much again, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody. So I'd like to take a second to thank all my patrons over on Patreon. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the support. If you guys would like to get behind the scenes content, stickers, monthly sketch postcards, go check out my Patreon. And thanks again, guys, so much for stopping by, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.